Whenever I talk about people telling me in the last 20 years, Salil, you have always managed to come at 5 in the morning and still want to do your sports and your gym and all that. I said that was nothing. When I had 2 children 8 years ago, I realized that to do that in the night, that in the day, it just made you a better human being. So my background was always 5 a.m. I wanted to wake up. I wanted to sleep by 9, 10 a.m. In the night. And I think if you follow that routine in life, you feel a lot healthier. And when we talk about health, I think the other thing in life is sport. It has to happen. But a lot of the times you don't need to be the healthiest and the fittest in the world because you can just have so much talent when you play that sport. But there are a lot of other sports. Simple sports also like walking. Simple sports like climbing up like the stairs. Football, athletics, all of these other sports. I think in the last 5-7 years, Indians have started taking that name, and they don't just say it for the sport world. They also say it'll make us a healthier human being. We'll live longer. So this live longer discussion has to start from your children. It has to start from you. It has to start from whatever age, but it has to start in households. And no better household than this. As people know, I spend more time in my office than I spend at home. So this is my house. And in my house today, I have a very, very interesting gentleman who's taking this idea and this entire vision forward. And the vision is from chota chota, which is small, small, to big, big, and to the biggest. That's the way it works. Daniel Schenker, CEO of DSPOWERPARTS, joins me today. And it's my greatest pleasure to have you in the show, sir. And first of all, I have to say, what do you do for your jawline? Because it's still so fantastic. No matter what you do, I see a lot of the advantages of being very physically fit is also that you don't have to have a beard to cover it up. You don't have to wear black to cover your body up also because you're super fit. So welcome to Radio City.
Thank you very much.
But I will ask you this question. How is everything so aligned? Are you just walking 24/7? Is that how you're so fit?
Like yourself, I have 4 children.
Oh.
So maybe that keeps you even more busy with 4 children.
Yes.
So it's all about, when I'm growing up with the children, it's all about sports, movement. Yes. And that's maybe the athletes comes in me. You want to, even my children are now over 20, some of them. Wow. You still want to compete with them. So you have to do something as it gets harder and harder as you get older. Yeah. So I guess that's really the magic trick, moving, doing something, enjoying with the
These words
kids,
you've used are very interesting as well. Moving, doing something, something beyond. I think people just didn't like to move. We used to use this word couch potato years back. I think that's got a lot better. I mean, in your understanding, what's the biggest change in the world that you've seen, as far as health is concerned, last 3-4 years?
The challenge we're all facing post-COVID or with all the technology and all good things with all our cell phones and computers, and this is all good. Don't get me wrong. This is all fun stuff. I do it as well. But the thing is, we sit way too much. And we need to go back into the habit to enjoy things by being on the go. I mean, we all take the elevator. Why we don't take the stairs? I mean, we go to a shop next door, we take the cab. Why don't we walk there? It's little things we can do. And I think by doing that, we get a certain strength, which keeps us healthy, agile, mental strength as well, because a fit body is a fit mind.
Yes.
It goes together. It doesn't go separate. I think that's very, very important.
It's been a mantra for a lot of people over the years. But you're organizing the AKC, an initiative by UBS. And, it's AKC means Athletics Kids Cup. So you've got to make it competitive. So children get inspired. So they win. I mean, it's always nice when you're standing on a podium. But you've got to get that culture across. How easy or how difficult do you think this culture of movement in children? I mean, they naturally would want to play, jump around and all that. But how difficult do you think it is to spread that message formally?
I think the beautiful thing about the Athletics Kids Cup is the simplicity. I mean, this is a natural thing. Running, jumping, throwing. Yeah. We all should do that. We should do it more often. Yeah. And it's a human being. We do that. Yes. So it's nothing which you have to reinvent. Yeah. So that's the beautiful of that concept. So I think kids enjoy it because it's in them already. Maybe we have to wake it up a bit and we have to challenge them and give some incentives to really do it. Yeah. And hopefully by the kids get inspired, the parents get inspired, and then we all win, no?
You should have a kids and parents Athletics Kids Cup.
No, I think that's what we'll end up. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if we inspire the kids doing it, hopefully, I don't know how old your kids are now, but if
only 8, but they want to think they're 28.
But can you imagine if he joins one of our competition, Athletics Kids Cup, he runs a certain time and he comes back home and says, "Daddy, I was okay, but I wasn't great." Yes. And he says, "Why we don't go the weekend? Can you teach me something? Can we train together?" You're going to train a bit with him. You
Yes.
engage together.
Yeah.
It's going to be good for you. It's going to be good for him. You build a relationship. You do healthy stuff and having a better relationship with your child. I mean, what else you
You know,
want?
I actually did, I was part of this entire bit with my kids as well. And I don't necessarily say you need to come first. I mean, just have fun. But I'll tell you, I saw something in him. I mean, he was participating, he was doing gymnastics. He didn't win all the medals. One of his close friends won. And he came back home and he said, you know, I like the fact that he won 5 or 6 medals. So the incentivizing was very important. They were all participating. But in that participation, he said, you know, I feel like getting a little better now. I think that also is great if you don't like hardwire it with the children. But those medals coming first, that little competition, they were doing in the rehearsals, it was different. But the competition, I think, changed it a lot for them. Is that also why you also make it like a formal?
No, absolutely. I mean, life is a competition. In a city like Mumbai, even more, you know? I mean, there's a lot of people. If you want to shine here, you need to do something for it. Yes, it's a competitive world. And at the same time, it's not only competitive against the best.
Yes.
It's a kind of, you know, if I do 10 seconds today and tomorrow I do 9 seconds, I have improved. I'm a winner. Whatever that winner is, it might not be the world record.
Yeah.
That's maybe too high of an inspiration now.
Yeah.
But if I put in, I get something out. I mean, if we get that message across, there's nothing more beautiful than that, I guess, in life. No?
And I think India's always, we keep saying 1.4 billion people here, you know, the message will go loud and clear. You all have done it elsewhere as well. What's the first reaction that you've had with schools and parents and even the children? You know, what's the first reactions that they've given?
You mean here in Mumbai?
Yes.
Yes, I mean, when I talk to children, they're all excited. And we have tried it last winter over here. We did several events in Mumbai, and the children, that was just a joy. And I believe that's why I see it's within the children.
Yes.
Now, with the parents, it was a little more stepping back. Let's see, what is that all about? And it's not cricket, it's a little bit. So I think there we need a little push to get them the excitement. But saying that, when the kids left the event and they saw how happy the kids have been, I mean, actually the parents came to us and said, thank you very much for organizing it. And I was really kind of confused and said, I mean, that's not a big thing. And still for them, it was a very, very big thing. Yes. And when I saw in their eyes how much they enjoyed it, how much they were happy to see their happy kids, I think then you know that there's something, you do the right thing, you know?
Actually, every parent would always feel that, you know, whenever the children have 3 or 4 great hours and you feel like they're happy, the big smile on their face, trust me, it is the most incredibly fulfilling feeling for a parent. But whenever we do something like this, awareness is always tough to sort of achieve with everyone. They'll see it on social media, on Instagram, somebody's, and then they'll find, oh, it's done. Oh, now what do we do? So I know a lot of people that would want to be part of this. You've sort of done, like you said, an experiment in the last winter.
Yeah.
How can they all get involved? How can all these communities get involved and tell more people about it?
Exactly. So what we do now, we want to roll it out very, very big in Mumbai. So our goal is to achieve 1,000 schools, touch 1,000 schools. Wow. That's our goal. So really make it sizable. So we're talking right now to a lot of school teachers, dean, representatives, just to make them aware of it, what we do. And so far, the reaction has been very, very positive. Because the reactions, everybody, oh yeah, we want to do that. And we always wanted to do that. Now we come in with a very simple model, with a certain structure, and that's what we bring. So they don't have to reinvent the wheel and to be very creative. We give them a hand model, we give them some how to do videos, we teach them, we learn them. You can just enjoy, basically.
So you just have to fill in the blanks. You've created everything, they just have to fill in the blanks.
Exactly. So there's a website, you have to log in, you register yourself. We have our partners in town who are going to reach out to them. So everything's going to take up from there. So we try to make it as easy as possible. And on top of it, if a school registers, they get a toolkit. In that toolkit, they get everything you need to organize it, like a start flapper, stopwatch, a measuring tape, a ball to throw. So they have everything. So we want to make the hurdle very, very small for a school to make it. So there is no excuse, to be totally honest. So, I mean, you can even ask the question, say, what's your excuse not to join, no?
Absolutely. And there's another very, very big thing that I always want to say. In India, we love successful models for it. And there's an incredible name that is going to be attached with you all. Somebody who I think I've never seen anybody with the kind of love that this man has faced. You know, we've had a lot of athletes. We've had a lot of very star sportsmen in this country, you know, and some people will really love them. Some people will say, okay. But I mean, I wouldn't be wrong as to say that after Sachin Tendulkar, the first man or the first sports star of this country was Neeraj Chopra. And I think, you know, people love him, and congratulations, you know, now that he's involved with y'all, attached to y'all. There's just this really lovely quality and this lovely vibe. I remember when he won his Olympic medal and we were chatting and we were talking about, so I'm a failed sportsman, let's put it that way. You know, we weren't able to make it. We were talking, he was like, no, even I was just a fat kid. You know, and I just went out over there and my mother used to just give me anything to eat. And then he said, I just threw something. And it went a little far. They said, listen, you have some talent, come. And that's how it started for him. He says, I didn't plan to do all this. So I think this is a brilliant fit. You have to tell me all about how this happened.
So Neeraj Chopra is obviously a global star now,
Yes.
as we know. So when he was involved in the international circuit, like the Diamond League, which he
Yes.
wins, I got to know him through the Diamond League, and basically that way we start talking. I said, he's such a humble, I mean, as you said, you could now wish for a better ambassador, a role model, basically for that. And I talked to him and said, look, how can I help you? How can I support you? And basically what he said is, I want to give back to my country. I want to give back to children. I want to give back to my sports. So now you tell me, this initiative ticks all these boxes, no?
Yes.
So it's close to his heart, and that's what makes it so beautiful.
Yes.
He's not going to do it because he needs to or someone pushed it. No, because he wants to do it. Yeah. It's close to his heart. What can you wish for more? No, that's...
I'll tell you something. This time in the Olympics, I was so excited. I'll tell you why. Because we were so angry that we didn't win, say, 10 or 15 medals. That has never happened in this country. And for the last 40 years, we've always hoped that we would win one. Now, people really think that we have the ability to be able to dominate, to be able to have match in nutrition, and because of people like Neeraj Chopra. I think so Indians, for the first time, are thinking about various kind of athletics. So I think this is just the right timing for this. I don't think you could have chosen a better time.
I mean, that's maybe only a coincidence. That's, But then they say there is no coincidence. Maybe there's a reason why it happened. No?
Absolutely.
So I think that is the beautiful thing. And you're right. If we make it big and if we grow, like we do 1,000 schools in Mumbai, we're going to start in Pune as well. We're going to start in Hyderabad, and we're going to add other cities next year. So we're going to roll it out. I just want to be mindful, because if you want to take over India in one day, that's not going to happen. Everything's going to crash, and that's not what we want. Right. And that's the other thing. For us, this is not an event. This is a movement. So it's not that we're going to do this year and next year we disappear. No. I always tell my team, I do it for at least 10 years. Wow. I say 10 years because I can't think further than 10 years. Yeah. So what I want to say is, we start a movement and we have to follow it through with everybody who can join us. And hopefully we get that movement as well to really motivate the parents, the school teachers, so everybody sees the benefit from it. Yeah. Because I have no doubt about the kids. I don't even worry about the kids. They're going to love it. They're going to like it. So that's
it's the rest of the people. Actually, I don't think too much convincing. I'm already excited thinking about it. I'm thinking about what 10 years will do for India. I said, because we've had children at that young age. And every parent in India goes through that problem, especially Mumbai. Mm-hmm. How do we create space for them so that they can play? Because a lot of it is indoor in Mumbai, because unfortunately space and the weather is always a problem.
That's an amazing thing. That's why this simplicity is very important to me. Mm. I mean, we have organized now with some schools. They had no yard, they had a kind of a street which they blocked. They run 60 meters there. They're throwing the ball in the backyard. Wow. And jumped basically on the concrete. It's doable. Again, there's no excuse. We give you the toolkit. Yeah. You have all the equipment you need. As long as you can find 60 meters of straight somewhere where you can block it off, you're good to go. That's not much. You don't need more than that, no?
That's the big message out there. You don't need too much to get this going. You just need the mindset to say, let's do this. And once you say, let's do this, imagine all these 1,000 schools coming in there, 100 children participating from each school. That's a lakh. And that's how the multiplication happens. We're not looking at arithmetic progression. We're looking at geometric progression. Maybe in 10 years from now, I already congratulate you, because I can see future stars of India coming out of programs like this.
Again, this is not our main motivation, but it will happen by default, basically. Yes, because if more kids do it, we're going to find some raw talents, which we will never find out. Yes. And maybe they're across the street from here. We just don't know it. Yes. And hopefully through that process, we're going to know that, and we're going to realize that, and we can give them the support they need to become their future heroes of India. No?
And this is the video we'll look back on then. You know how I say in the old videos, remember, it all started here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's how it is. No, that's a beautiful thing that you can look back then. But now we have to put the work in.
Yes.
And that's where we need everybody to support us.
And we've got a large viewership, a large listenership. All those that are watching on Radio City India, all those that are listening to me. Of course, this interview, English mein hai, but a lot of the things मैं आपको समझा के बताऊंगा. very simple है. Simple हिंदी में ही आपको समझा देता हूँ. I'll just give them an understanding. It's very simple. अगर आपको एक एथलीट चूज करना है घर पे, तो आप बोलोगे यार मैं स्टार्ट कैसे करूंगा. स्टार्ट और शुरुआत ये कर देंगे आपके लिए. आगे बढ़ना कैसे है, बहुत सिंपल है. जब अलग अलग स्कूल्स इन्वॉल्व हो जाएंगे, आप सबको लगेगा अरे वाह ये स्कूल भी आ गया है, ये स्कूल भी आ गया है, लेट्स ऑल डू दिस. तो शुरुआत फन से कीजिए, उसके बाद आगे जाके जो होगा वो बाद में देखेंगे. Thank you so much, Danny, for joining us. It really was a pleasure. Like I said, this is always so exciting, and I can understand why your conversation would have lasted maybe 10 minutes with Neeraj. And then after that, you'll have all the phone calls from the teams. But he would have said yes immediately. He's just a wonderful guy. You're a wonderful person. Thanks for doing this. And we wish you all the luck and all our support at Radio City is with you.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited, and I'm really looking forward to grow that to the level we want to.
And we'll do a 60-minute dash as well.
Of course. I'm
we'll
looking
set
forward
the
to
example
that.
first.
That's a good idea.
You.
Thank you.